Hello everyone, in this video we're going to talk about something related to circles. When I say something related to circles, it's not about the properties of circles or the parts of the circles. We're going to talk about the interaction between a line and a circle. As you can see here on the board, there are three cases which I have represented. Case 1, case 2, case 3. Let's look into it. What are these? So if I have a circle and a line, then there will be three possibilities. One is the circle and the line never intersect or never touch each other. The second is they touch at only one point. Or the third is the line is going to pass through the circle in such a way that it is going to touch the circle at two points. Okay, so there are three conditions. So there is a line and a circle, and if they don't touch each other, then there is no relationship at all. Okay, but if the line is going to touch the circle at exactly one point, then such a line is called as the tangent. Then such a line is called as the tangent. And if the line is going to touch the circle as 2 points like A and B, then the line is called as secant. So what's the definition of the tangent? A line which intersects a circle at one and only one point is called as a tangent. And a line which intersects a circle at 2 points is called as a secant. Okay. Now, how many tangent can pass through one point on a circle? So let's try drawing different tangents. Let's mark first one point through which we want to draw the tangent. Okay. So this is the point which I'm taking. Let's start drawing different lines. Okay. So this is my first line which I'm drawing. Then the next line. So as you can see, I'm able to draw many lines passing through the point, right? But what about the line which is going to touch the circle? Each line is actually only one line is touching the circle at one point, whereas the others are all actually intersecting it at two different points. Let's mark it. Okay, so if we want to go about, let's say this line, let's say this line. So here it is one point and the second point. The next line is, this is the first point and second point. This is 1, 2, right? Now, apart from this line, which is L, let me label them. The three which I've already talked about is P, Q, and R. P is this line which is intersecting. Again, P is this line which is intersecting the point at say 1 and 2. Let's label this point as P, this point as A. So PA is on line P. PB is on line Q, correct? And PC is on line R, right? Same way, let us label this as M, N, and R. Okay, so the points on R will be, one is P and the other is, let's say, C. For the point on N will be, line N will be P and let's say D, correct? Then point on M will be again P and let's say E. So if you see here, only line line L is the one which is touching the circle as on at one point, whereas all the other lines are touching the circle at 2 points. So what does it show? That a circle can have only one tangent passing through one point. So there is exactly only one tangent. Okay. Now we'll be looking at a theorem which is very important, which says that a tangent to a circle is always perpendicular to the radius through the point of contact. Okay, there is a connection of one of the theorems that you've learned in 9th standard, which says that a circle, okay, and the chord. So what is the theorem saying? That it says that a circle, sorry, the line segment passing through the center of the circle is always perpendicular bisector of the chord. Let me draw the figure and explain it again. The theorem that we have learned in 9th standard explains that any line segment passing through the center of the circle is a perpendicular bisector of the chord. Clear? So using something like this, we are going to do a construction here, okay, where we'll say that we are going to construct a chord, let's say CD on the circle. So sorry, in the such that construct a chord CD such that OP is perpendicular to CD. Okay, and it's on same side as the tangent. Clear? So that means what I'm going to do a construction here, I'm going to construct a chord which is perpendicular to OP and it is on the same side of the tangent. So this is C, this is D. Okay. Now clearly the chord is parallel to the tangent, right? So the first thing that we can say here is that CD is parallel to AB, and the second thing that we can see is CD is perpendicular to OP, right? So let's start with the proof part. So first thing we'll say that since OP is perpendicular to CD, and angle O, let me name this as a M point, MD is equal to 90. Why? Because any line segment passing through the center is a perpendicular bisector of the chord, is a perpendicular bisector of the chord, right? So using this, we are saying that this angle is 90. Clear? Now already we said that we have already saying that CD is parallel to AB and this angle is 90. So can we say here that CD is parallel to AB and MP is the transversal? So in that case, I'll be getting angle CMP equal to MPA as 90. Why? Because they are, it's CMO and MPA. Again, CMO and MPA. This one. CMO and MPA, which is the corresponding angle. Okay. So let me explain it again. What are we doing here? We are doing a construction where we are drawing a chord CD such that it is perpendicular, such that OP is perpendicular to CD and CD is on the same side of tangent. And the construction is also in such a way that the CD is parallel to AB. Now, clearly OP is perpendicular to CD. That means OMD, or I can say OMC, right? They both are 90 degrees because any line or line segment passing through the center is a perpendicular bisector of the chord. Now, CD is parallel to the line that is AB, and let me say MP is the transversal. Already OMC I can say, or CMO. So CMO and CMO and MPA. Again, I'm really sorry. CMO, that is this angle, and MPA, they are corresponding angles, so they are equal. So this shows that OP is perpendicular to AB, correct? Apart from that, we can also use one of the rule is that OP and OR are the tangents. So I'm going to do this case 1 and case 2, or I can say the part 1 where I'm using the chord rule to say the chord of any line segment passing through the chord is perpendicular bisector. I've used that to show that OP is perpendicular to AB. That is one part of the theorem. The second part, I'm saying that OP is equal to OR because they are radius. Correct? Now, if you look at the figure, can I say OQ is OR plus RQ? Again, OQ is OR plus RQ. Okay, so let me write that OQ is OR plus RQ. So clearly OQ is greater than OR, obviously. So that means, can I say OQ is greater than OP because OP and OR are radiuses? That means the distance, that is OP is the shorter distance compared to OQ, right? What do I mean by the shorter distance? But I mean that the distance between the point O and the line L can be measured by two segments, that is OP and OQ. But the shortest distance is OP. So there is a theorem which says that the shortest distance between a point and the line is always its perpendicular bisector. So therefore here OP should be the perpendicular bisector of AB because OP is the shortest distance. So let's write the statement. So here OP is the shortest distance from center O to the tangent AB. So shortest distance between a point and a line is always the perpendicular bisector. Thus, in the second part, again we are saying OP is perpendicular to AB. Either you can use this rule Or you can use this rule of chord that any line segment passing through the center of the circle is a perpendicular bisector of the chord. So we just gradually use a transversal rule and we prove that the line that is AB tangent is perpendicular to OP. Clear? Now we are going to use this first theorem of tangent and circle in further questions. Okay, so let's take this. So as you can see, tangent PQ point at a point P has a radius of 5 centimeter and meets a line through the center of at point Q. Okay, so the distance of OQ is given to be 30. We are supposed to find here. Now clearly OP is perpendicular to PQ because of the previous theorem. That means, can we say OPQ is a 90-degree angle? That means triangle OPQ is a right angle triangle. Right? So can we apply Pythagoras theorem? So if we do that, what happens? It will be OP square plus PQ square equal to OQ square. Right? That means it's a 5 square plus PQ square equal to 13 square. That means it will be PQ square is 13 square minus 5 square, which is equal to 165 minus 25. Sorry, 169 minus 25, which is equal to 144. Right? So thus we'll get PQ square is 144. That means PQ is 12. Clear? Let's take one more question. They are saying the line through the center of the radius, the center, that means radius 7 centimeter cuts the tangent at, okay, at point P on the circle as this. So here we need to find the value of OQ because PQ is given to be 24 and the radius is given to be 7. Again, we'll say OP is perpendicular to PQ. Angle OPQ is 90. So triangle OPQ is right angle triangle. Okay, and I leave the remaining part of applying Pythagoras for you to solve. Okay, that will be PQ square, sorry, OP square plus PQ square equals to OQ square. So what is the first theorem of this chapter tells us? This chapter is based on tangents and circles. So the first theorem says that the tangent which touches the circle at one point is always perpendicular to its radius. So the radius of the circle is always perpendicular to the tangent. Okay, let's take a few questions. One more question. Okay, the common point of tangent and the circle is called as contact point or point of contact. It's called as point of contact. The point where the tangent touches the circle is called to be the point of contact. A circle may have dash number of parallel tangents. So if I want to draw a circle and I'm going to show parallel tangents, so this is the one tangent, then it will be one more. I can draw many parallel lines, but they are not tangents, right? So how many parallel tangents does a circle can have? Yes, it can have only two parallel tangents. Correct? A tangent to a circle intersects in only one point, and line intersecting a circle in 2 points is called as a, yes, secant. The angle between the tangent at a point on a circle and the radius through it 90. Why? Because it's a perpendicular. Correct? Next, you're saying draw a circle and two lines parallel to the given line such that one is a tangent and the other is a secant. So let's say this is my circle and this is my given line. Okay. Now they are not saying whether the given lines, yeah, the given line is a tangent. Sorry. The given line is a tangent. So now we have to draw two lines such that they are parallel to this given line. Let's label this line as L, the center of the circle as O. Okay. Now we have to draw one line which is parallel to the tangent and the other is a secant. So one is this, right? And the other is this. Correct? So this is a tangent which is line M and line N is the secant. Clear? I've taken some questions for your practice where you have to simply apply the Pythagoras theorem. So again, what does a tangent mean? A tangent is a line which touches the circle at one and only one point. And what is the theorem we did? The circle of the tangent is perpendicular to the tangent at the point of contact, or the tangent is perpendicular to the radius of the circle at the point of contact. Hope this is clear. Thank you.